Hi,
Hello.
welcome to Cellar Bar, the most exclusive bar in the world, where there's literally no one here or on the streets. It's like the best speakeasy on the planet. My name's Duncan from restaurant Africola.
And I'm Mark Reginato from Hellbound Wine Bar.
Yeah, I've also never been there. Um, welcome. Today we're going to be doing our kind of signature-esque things. We're going to be doing our Africola tea sandwich. Obviously, the response we've had about our tea sandwich is pretty ridiculous. So I thought now that you guys are self-isolating, I would show you how to kind of do it-ish, kind of, sort of. And what are you going to do today?
I'm just going to make a little drink that goes with it, doing a little peach cobbler, a couple of things that I love. Sherry is one of them, and eating tea sandwiches is the other. So let's put them together.
Fancy. Right. Okay, so for our tea sanger, we're going to go straight into it. The first thing you need is the cheapest, shittest white bread, right? It has to be the cheapest and shittest because of all the preservatives in it. It keeps it like heaps soft, so it doesn't go stale. But it needs, like, seriously, this cannot be an artisanal product. It can't be like some fancy sourdough that you're making because you're bored at home. It has to be the shittest and the best, like, white bread. So, okay. So first of all, that's the bread sorted out. Secondly, right, your chicken skin. Oh, shit. So this is your chicken skin. Now, people always attempt to do this, right? And a lot of chefs attempt to actually do this correctly. So you see a lot of guys like brining their skin or salting their skin or fucking, I don't even know, right? But it never comes out like that, or hardly ever. What we do is we get a shit ton of chicken skin from our butcher. We scrape all the fat and all the cartilage and all the veins and any crap off of it. So you're just left with the skin itself. We put it between two slices of baking paper, a heavy tray, in the oven at 180 degrees, and all we're looking for is to render all that fat. So all that fat that comes off of it, it all needs to dissipate. So you're left with this ultra crunchy, crispy foreskin, basically. All right. Next. Our peri-naise. So this is peri-peri sauce and mayonnaise. You can go online, and I give kind of a few recipes for different kinds of peri-peri sauces. All we're doing is literally getting good quality mayonnaise or shit quality mayonnaise. Like, who cares? You can make this as super dirty or as super fancy as you actually want. But don't use Kewpie mayonnaise because it's actually way too rich, like not for any other reason. So just use like either Maker mayonnaise or Hellmann's style, right? So peri-naise, that goes on the base. So that's going to hold everything together. You kind of need the glue to hold this thing, right? So really just smother that white bread. You can see how fancy we are at Africola. Bang. Okay. So that is the fat to the dish. We add our chicken skin. Boom, boom. Okay, and you can be a bit lavish with the skin, but don't add too much, because the thing is, like, you want this to be a perfect mouthful. If you add too much of a good thing, it's going to be too rich, too sickly, and it's going to actually feel like you're getting diabetes as you eat it, which is not really cool, unless you're into that. Next thing, because of the richness of what we spoke about, we need greenness. We need something to give it that sort of earthiness, to balance it, a little bit of bite to it. So parsley, flat leaf parsley. Don't use curly leaf parsley because A, it's going to struggle to stick to the sandwich, and B, the flavor of it is too predominant. Okay.
And curly leaf also died in the 70s, I think.
Curly leaf has died in the 70s, like your haircut, Mark Reginato. So next thing, we've got salad dressing. And this is literally olive oil, lemon juice, a tiny bit of mustard, right? But more lemon juice than anything else, because that acid is what's going to actually balance a lot of the flavor. So parsley on the skin, Awesome. So just make sure it's even. So every mouthful and every bite is exactly the same. Because the thing is about sandwiches, anyone can make a sandwich, but very few people can actually make a fucking decent sandwich. All right? Me included. Okay, so the bread goes on top. Bang. Bang. Now comes the gold dust. The thing that actually makes our tea sandwich what it is, because that's all pretty simple techniques, all pretty easy. What makes our tea sandwich is the drippings. Now, when you're roasting a chicken, okay, roast the chicken and then rest the chicken. Rest it for at least 15 to 20 minutes. So all the juices out of the chicken start to leach out of it and sink to the bottom of the pan, okay? And this is, like I said, this was the kind of segue into how this sandwich came to be. And that was through a guy called, what's his name?
Taylor.
No, I can't believe I forgot his name on camera.
Standard.
Steve Panel. Holy shit. Sorry, Steve. I know you're not watching this right now because you're probably drunk already, but I love you. So Steve Panel actually came up with this dish. A part of the dish for us. We were wine judging together, and all the judges themselves were coming back to Africola for dinner. But because he had carried on drinking from the wine judging, between wine judging and dinner, he came in pretty drunk, which was fantastic. But he needed something to eat. And he asked me, he's like, just give me a fucking sandwich. I didn't, because I was like, dude, I've already planned your menu. So instead, I gave him drippings and bread. And the drippings themselves were of like about 100 peri-peri. Right? So all the chicken juice, all that paste, all that marinade, all sank to the bottom, white bread and drippings. He ate that and was like, that's probably one of the best things I've ever eaten. This should go on your menu straight away. So for me, I was like, okay, cool. How are we going to do that? How am I going to charge for drippings and bread? I then went to a friend of mine's wine bar they used to have called Bar Liberty. And they used to do a variation on a chicken sandwich called their sort of CLT, which is chicken skin, lettuce, tomato. I had that. I thought that was brilliant. But again, for me, it was missing just a little bit of oomph. It was a delicious bar snack, but very rich. Now, incorporating the two things together, that's how my tea sandwich came to be. Now, back to the drippings. So all the juices that you have that sunk to the bottom of your roasting tray, once the chicken's rested, add a touch of lemon juice to it, a little bit of raw garlic, just microplaned or crushed. And again, don't skim off any of the chicken fat or anything else, because that's so integral and that's where all that flavor is. Right, so we've made our sandwich. I've got a knife somewhere. We've got our dripping. And now you can cut it however the frick you want. Obviously, we make it quite fancy. So we do it as in little tea sandwiches, like cucumber sandwiches. Yep, Tamara, you can pour the dripping.
She's good at that.
That's so gross. And just down the middle. Now, you can do this with crackling, actually. You can do the same thing with pork crackling, make a sarnie. And then for the drippings of that, you can literally do something like a little bit of hot sauce, a little bit of mayonnaise. And it's just as good, a little bit different. Instead of mayonnaise going into it, you can do a really cool coleslaw. But honestly, the sky's the limit. The variations are so cool. And that is our tea sandwich, which I'm not going to eat because I look like I am because I ate too many of them. So I'm actually on a tea sandwich diet. But instead, one thing you can do, if you've got drippings and you got leftover drippings, what we do at the restaurant, if anyone leaves their drippings in the bowl, we actually spike it with whiskey. And that is a shot that we're going to have right now. Get a fucking shot glass, please. Yeah!
That's my kind of shot glass.
Cool. And this is warm and uncomfortable when you drink it. Kind of like, going up a rope in gym class for the very first time. Okay, so just enough. It's kind of like a demented pickleback.
I believe we made it with tequila first, or mezcal. Is that right?
Yeah, that was what we called the Dirty Rhino, named after wine writer Nick Ryan, who did Pippi juice and tequila, but this works with any alcohol. And like, who cares? Like, you're stuck at home, do it with 2-minute noodle juice and like, yeah, and Campari. Who cares? No one's there to judge you.
You tell us what's good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's actually delicious. It's actually delicious.
I quite agree.
It's savory. I'm going to vomit now,
meaty.
but that's great. That's amazing. Thank you. Now over to cocktail guru and mixologist. Now, Reggie has won like all the top mixology competitions in Canada. And that's what he's known for in Adelaide. That's why we bonded, because I put on Craigslist, I needed someone pretentious and Italian, and he came up straight away.
Molto bene.
Over to you, Reg.
Thank you, Duncan. Such a wonderful, wonderful host as always. Well, welcome along. I have had this chicken sandwich quite a number of times here at Africola. And when it was asked to me, what are you going to drink with it? I'm like, well, it's got to be refreshing. It's got to play on that salty. It's got to be yummy, and it's got to have a little bit of texture in there. One of my favorite things is sherry. So I'm going to do a little peach sherry cobbler-esque kind of drink and work it with it from there. So very simple things. You can sort of play around with your flavorings at home, but peach is pretty delicious at the moment. So, I mean, for the use of the camera, I will measure things, but generally it's kind of like a all-in glass scenario. So just filling a couple of glasses up with crushed ice, crushed at home with Duncan's face.
Yes.
Always the easiest way. Some manzanilla from my delicious little friends at Alimentaria.
What is manzanilla?
Manzanilla is a style of sherry from San Lucar. So it's a regional based.
From someone's car.
San Lucar de Barrameda. But let's not go into that with you.
Mixology.
Oh, there's only one thing that we know about you, Duncan. It's cocktology. 20 mils of delicious marionette peach liqueur just came out before we all got into hibernation, so there's plenty of it. Using the best quality fruit from farmers who are specifically working towards making the world better. Lemon juice. So nice big cheek of lemon juice.
Ciao.
Squeeze it in there. Ciao, with your cheeks. That's basically it. We're trying to avoid the whole sugar content. So, I mean, that's why the peach liqueur's in there. We can harbour that up straight out the bottle or squeeze some fresh orange juice. Just pour that on and drip it down to the top. That'll also provide a bit of sweetness.
Yum.
Couple of sprigs of mint. There's yums going from all over the crowd at the moment. We have a crowd of 3, and working dreams.
And I wish you guys could see what this looks like, because we are filming off a Nokia 7210.
Which I just finished playing Snake on.
No, this is a pre-Snake, but I can tell you this looks absolutely almost like you want to drink it, kind of.
That's the best compliment you've paid me ever, Duncan.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, no, it's great, actually.
Oh, thank you.
It's
kind of like a, something you could drink in the morning and it'd be kind of like on the sly drinking. It is a low alcohol cocktail, so you don't need to get boozy all the time.
This is for secret alcoholics. So basically, if you're at home and your partner said that you're drinking too much, drink this and just say it's fruit juice and hide your shame.
Just go for a run.
Hide your shame. But don't run on beaches or any other public areas because you will get arrested. Cool. Brilliant.
When's the last time you went for a run?
Fuck off.
Is it just running from the police?
I'm ashamed now. All right, so we're going to just tidy up a little bit, then go straight into any live chat with whoever wants to heckle us, and we'll tell you to fuck off live on Facebook. Thank you.
I won't.
Or we're just going to keep running. No, yeah. No, we're just going to keep running. Fuck it. Who cares? All right, so does anyone have any questions to ask us? I've got my assistant, Miffy. That'll be social distancing. She'll be signing the language, the questions to us. Charades. Do you have any questions, Miffy?
No, but say hi to Dylan Fairweather, who's watching.
Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Dylan Fairweather. Thanks for watching, dickhead.
He's still upstairs.
Keep it up. What? I don't even know. Any other questions?
This
Is Reggie DTF? Yes, he is down to forage. Yes, he is down to forage or down to fromage.
Oh, I love a good cheese.
Yep, anything?
Any other
No
live
one's got
calls?
anything to
Everyone's
ask
just saying
you.
No traditional banter? Nothing you want to expel
Nothing.
to Duncan now because he won't be able to chase you? Well, we know that for 2 reasons.
Ooh. Anything? Just give me the phone. I can just heckle people.
Yeah.
That's standard.
Johnny John. Johnny John is watching you. Hey, Johnny John, that's not a real name. That is not a real name, Johnny John. Okay, log off. We know you're just a bot. Who else? Okay, we've got Alistair Robertson, all the way
Ali.
from Sunny's in Tasmania. How's takeaway going, dickhead? Haley Cook, yes, crunching foreskin for days. Well, he is. He is standing right next to me, and yes, he is. It's still a $12 sandwich, though, Mothy D. You know what, Mothy D? Yes, it fucking is. If you don't want to buy it, make it at home. You've got every opportunity now that you know the recipe.
I'd probably buy it for $14 anyway.
I'd buy, you know what? I'd fucking pay $2 and fucking gift $100 to the person making it. Why? Because they're sick cunts. Who else? Anna Saunders. Hi, Anna. Long time no see. Cool. Damien Knox. Hey, Damien. What are you wearing?
Black.
Fuck. I'm just going to get drunk now. I don't even care. Anyways, cool. Thanks for watching. Ben Parton is watching me now. Hey, Ben, you missed it, mate. I'm sorry. I'm signing off now. I love you, and speak to you guys later.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Woo!